What's up? I am back. All right. So I wanted to just show something for the daily cleaning verification responses from one of the last videos that I did when I said that there's a sheet that everything goes to. So this is the sheet, pretty much, Form 1 responses. This is the sheet that it goes to. And, here's me down here. All right. I'm not going to show everybody else. But here's me down here. Here's the test that I did. And so this is what it did for everybody, every facility. I don't know how to blank out a certain portion of this, but the facilities are here. So if I scroll up real quick, you see the other facilities. I don't know if you've seen anybody's name, but you'll see the other facilities there. The date that it was done. The 25th, 1648, so 448, and the timestamp. Now, the only thing that's off is the timestamp. I'm not worried too much about this timestamp because I have this date right here that really, really matters. But, they can't fluff this. I mean, they probably can. So my timestamp, if I have to, I'll do the math on it and I'll see how many hours is off by. I forgot why it's doing that when I coded this, when I programmed it into the Google Scripts, and I simply just forgot to go back into it and fix it. But this is what I wanted to show, that all of my forms, they actually do come into one place where the data is sort of congregated right there. And I could check to see who did it, along with being emailed. The email is really just that PDF form that we can use printed out to show somebody, look, these things were being done, like that, if the need ever occurred, or for us to look at to say, oh, look, we have an issue, this wasn't done or this wasn't done. All right. And even, let me come down and keep coming down. Look right there. It was a deficiency. There are no containers in this room. Right, so this is where my responses are. If I go and I go to open, some of the responses I took off of the main portal here because I didn't need them. The reason I took them off actually is because they send a PDF report, so I didn't need them. That's why I took it off. But if I go back to this, it's incident report master, so those are responses. Remitter sheets is something different. Is the P&A ledger reports, invoice system, those are the reports, the daily census, master reports, those get emailed also. So a lot of things get emailed. Overnight shift compliance report, responses, more responses, the chicken. So a lot of my responses are already right here. If I need to get to them, I'll get to them easily by just going into one of the other things, clicking file, open up the file because it is in my Google Sheets. So I'm going to close this out. And what I wanted to get to were my incident reports. All right, an incident report system that I have. So again, like I said before, just like the incident reports, everything goes to something. So if anybody had any incident, this is a collection of everything. Now, my incident reports also go into my Drive folders as well as they go to the email because I get an email of every incident that happens. And for instance, if you see something is in red versus white, well, red means it's critical, it needs attention, right? So immediate escalation required, yes. Immediate notification required is in red. If escalation is not required, it doesn't need it. And then under review, this is me having to come in here and check it off and put, whatever approved or whatever the case may be on it. Now, I don't know what the approve will do. I forgot, but let's just say this is the most recent one I got. So I'm going to click approved on it, right? I don't think approve does something, but I'm not sure what it does. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to I hope Approved doesn't email it, because a lot of these, some of them, based on the rules, would have to be emailed out to, the regulatory authority that regulates us. I don't think I set it up to email straight to it, but we'll find out, because I clicked Approved on 2 of them. But that's something I easily can do, because again, I don't need AI with that. These are all just regular workflows and automations. So it's really, really easy to do a lot of the stuff that you think AI is doing, and people are telling you AI is doing. It's not. It's just a simple workflow automation. And I'm not an expert or a pro, but from my little bit of experience that I have doing this, I'm able to do a lot of stuff that people's like, oh, AI, and I'm like, no, but yeah, okay, AI, because that's the only thing that they know. But anyway, let me go to this incident report form that I built. So, excuse me, I'm going to go to the staff portal. Now, the incident reports are on the management portal, because if I have to do it, or another administrator, assistant admin, they could simply come in, they could fill it out. But it really was meant for staff. And since we were working on the staff portal, I'm going to go back to the staff portal, right? So let's go back to that staff portal, and then let's go to, I thought I clicked on it. Let's go to incident reports. And again, all of this can be done on the phone. I will see if I could sort of mirror the phone, or mirror the phone, I guess, onto the computer, and then show you me doing it through the phone. Because through the phone, I could go, click this. I'm, using a mouse and a button, so it does take, some time. But staff would come to this, they'll click on the incident report form. And again, I made the incident report form from a Google form, Google Sheets. I did create a script with it, Google Scripts, and it sends it, it manages a workflow from Google Scripts. Google Scripts is not AI, right? So it's just simple automation and workflow processes that I use for my system. But staff would come to this, or management would come to this, wherever they had to enter that. Now I'm going to use Aaliyah's, because Aaliyah's are really they're not doing too much. So if anything pops up there, I'm always going to put test, so they'll know it's a test. All right. So next, resident name. I made this super simple. Super simple. So let's just imagine before they were using paper, they have to get a paper. Their excuse for not doing an incident report, oh, I didn't know what a form was. I couldn't find a sheet. And we told them, write it down so you remember what happened on the back of a blank sheet of paper. And then to read it, shit. It's like you need a course in hieroglyphics sometimes. But what I did was, when I made these forms and these different things for everybody to use, tried to make it super simple, super easy to get full compliance. Period. That is it. Super simple, super easy to get full compliance out of it. And I expect 100% compliance. Right now, I have maybe 80% about 80% compliance. I'm over 50%. I know that. So about 80%. All right, let's say 70, right? 70% compliance. But I made it real simple so that when you click on this, the resident names are already preloaded. So now if a resident leaves, yes, I'll go into this, and it's easy for me to go into it and, change out that resident, remove them. So like, for instance, this facility, I'm about to click on somebody. I'm sure that there's a resident that is not there anymore. I want to go through the whole form, but then I'm going to come back and I'm going to take that resident out to show you how simple it is to update your Google form if you're using Google Forms to do this. But just the way I did it. This is not meant to be any sort of tutorial video at all, but I'm just showing how I make my life easier and the things I implemented. So I would click on a resident form and it's going to give me these residents, right? Now, one of these residents is not here. Okay, so I'm going to do a fake, incident report on the person. She's not there. Date of the incident. I'm going to put today, right? Time of the incident. Let's put 6:02, right? Because that's the time it is right now, PM. Shift. Since it's 6:02 p.m., it's happening on your 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift. Staff reporting is Tess Howard. That's my name for orders. Other person involved, if any, let's say, test resident, right? I spelled that wrong. Damn. All over my buttons. Test resident. Now, I had incident type. Now, stay with me with this, all right? Because I'm making most of this stuff where, again, the person's using their phone, and this is real quick for them to fill out. Really, really quick. If they got to type, they're typing their name. They're texting their name, right? Everybody's using their phone and texting, watching, so that should be simple. If they got to fill anything, that's simple. But for most of these now, let's say the incident, right? Before, staff went right down the type of incident, what it was, whatever the case. They didn't write it down. This right here is just select what happened. Select what, if the resident is acting a fool, cursing you out, trying to, they off the meds or something like that, it's a behavioral incident. If they have a fight with someone else, it's an altercation. If they injured themselves, an injury. If they fell, it's a fall. Incident, medication error could be an incident. Elopement. If you wake up and that person is gone, it's an elopement. Now, based on what you select, it will trigger automatically an escalation, right? So I'm going to do 2 of these, and I'm going to have an email, and I'm scrolling through the bottom to see if there's an escalation. All right, so there's no escalation. There's nothing on here for me to press escalation because I didn't leave it up to a staff to say what needs to be escalated or not. I built that into this system to say, if I get something back in an incident report saying that somebody eloped, saying that it's a medical emergency, saying that there's some sort of injury, and then if I go down and I put, was there an injury? Yes. Visible injury? Yes. And then if they were taken to a hospital, if EMS, something like that, the severity of it, it's going to automatically go to escalation. So with this, let me go back up, and I'm just going to put something like, let's put an elopement, right? Because an elopement, now it says, if other described before, there is no other. So now location, outside, right? They eloped, meaning they're outside. Now it says specify location if there's other, and it says incident description. Now, notice with this, I have describe only what was observed and actions taken. Do not include opinions or assumptions. I had to put that in, and I had to tell everyone because I would get people to write all sorts of things on a sheet of paper, everything where it really didn't describe an incident. If the incident is a resident fell, let's say a resident fell in the bathroom. I use in the bathroom. They said they hit their head or they hit their knee. That's what happened. That's the incident. Not the resident fell in the bathroom. They said they hit their knee. So I immediately called the other resident to help me get them up. And we checked their head and their knee, and we saw that they had a lump on it. And so then I asked them if the lump was hurt. No. The incident is just what happened. Bitten by a dog. Stung by a bee, hit by a bus, slashed with the razor. That's the incident. That's all I want. I don't want anything else because what happens is the more information you give, then it could lead into other things that you don't want it to lead into. So we always, just try to stress that as much as possible. So again, this incident was elopement. So unable to find resident in the building. I'm not even looking at what I'm typing, so hopefully I spelled everything correctly. Okay, I did. Injuries in action. Was there an injury? No, there wasn't an injury. A visible injury? No, because again, They just gone. Photos taken, no photos taken. First aid, actions taken. So you're going to put administrator notified. You're going to notify the administrator. EMS 911 is called as well. All right. That is it. Transported to the hospital? No, because it doesn't require a hospital transport at all. All right. And then that's it. You could certify it, and then the person filling it out is me, Tess Howard. And then submit. All right. So now, if this was done properly, what's happened is if the engine in the background of this is working properly, I'm going to go to the email, and I'm going to go to my office email. I'm not going to go to the ALEA email, because the ALEA email is monitored by the admin assistant. My office email is monitored by the administrators, because the administrators are the ones who have to. Now, let me clarify. The administrators monitor both, but if it comes to your office email, then it's more of a incident that you're going to, pay attention to more so than the other email. So that's the email I'm going to go to. ALEA's is still open, but that incident report, I don't believe I have it set to go into my ALEA email. I do have it set for my operations email, so I'm going to let it open up. See, this is my ALEA email. There's no incident report that came to it. But when I go to my office email, that incident report should have come into my office email. So now we're going to check that. All right. And so now, as you see, it came into the office email, and it came in and it says CMG urgent escalation. Alok AWOL is residential. Immediate management notification required. Okay, and it's giving me the facility, the name of the resident right there, elopement, the date, the time, reported by, unable to find resident in the building, escalation, and then it gives the incident report. Now, when you have an incident that occurs in something especially like an elopement, a hospital, someone's admitted to the hospital, something serious, you have 24 hours to notify the regulatory, the regulatory agency that governs us. I don't know what it is in other states for assisted living, residential care, personal care homes, but we have 24 hours to alert. And this is there already, it's done. So that's it. Escalation required is up there. The incident that occurred is up there. I'll simply the staff can electronically sign it and then shoot it over, or send it over this way, Listen, as long as you get that notification to them in 24 hours, I don't care if it was signed, we don't get a violation for not having it done. And it has down there submitted, the staff person up there. So there's a stamp up there anyway. That's a verification. But this is what this incident report would look like. So this is the system that I built. What I didn't want to do was I didn't want to have it have an escalation required and then automatically email, because a lot of the times, again, the thing that the staff may select and put there may not be worthy of sending that out to, the regulators. It may be something that was wrongly classified, and so escalation is not needed, and that's it. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I did that one. I'm going to go back to the incident reports, and I want to submit another response. But here's what I'm going to do, because I told you that I can edit it. So the person I submit a response on, they are no longer at that facility. So I'm just going to take them off. And it's easy to do it on your Google form as well. Now, I can do this on my end. If the staff or somebody else is, has access to this, they don't have the edit button, but I do. So all I have to do is look for my mouse. That's number one. And I'm going super slow because I have so much stuff working in the background. So it's going slow. But I just look for that person at that facility, right? Okay, here we go. So there they are right there. Click on it and they're gone. And it's just that simple. Now they're off of that drop down list. They're not out of the sheet and they're not out of the reports. They're still in the reports, but they're off of that drop down list. And then I could go through a couple more of these. And let me see, this gentleman, I can't recall if he's there or not there. I don't remember if he's there or not there. But anyway, that's it. And it's saved. So, I could go to preview. It's already published. And then that's it. So I'm going to close this out. And then I'm going to close this one out because now I want to open up a fresh sheet. And then cool, I'm back on the master report sheet, right? So if I go down, then here you see the incident that I just entered right here. And everything is there inside of this master sheet. Because again, it tracks every single thing for us. So the PDFs we have, that's in the email. But if I want to get to it quick, just come right here to the master sheet. I come over here, PDF, click that PDF link, open it up, and I have it right there. And everything's on the master sheet. Now, I don't know what this does, but let's see if it does anything. All it did was save it to the drive, actually. Okay, it said save to drive. I said, I don't know what it does. Let me double check. All right, so it didn't send an email or anything like that. So now what I want to do, staff photo, right? So now I'm going to do another one. And this time, same facility. When we go to the drop down, that person shouldn't be up there. All right, so you see that person I did before is gone. So I'm going to do another person. This person right here. I think this is a fictitious person anyway. So now, the cool thing about this is, let's say an incident happened yesterday. I come in, I'm like, no, that is something that you got to report. Make the report on it. Or I have to make the report on it, right? But usually the assistant admin should, no, make the report. Go back to the data that happened. So just go back, so you can backdate it. Go back, write that this thing happened at 15:15, and if it's 15:15, obviously that's PM. And of course, the shift will be at 3P to 11P. Staff reporting it is called test staff. Anybody else involved? No. Type of incident. So now let's say it was a behavior incident, right? Cool. So it's a behavior incident. The location, let's say, is in the hallway. And then describe what you observed. Tim yelling and person at the staff, right? All right, so Tim yelling and cursing at the staff. That's definitely a behavioral incident. Injury? No, right? No injury. Is there visible injuries? No. Photos taken? No, you didn't need to take any photos. All right, so now actions taken. You really didn't take any action. You just monitored the resident. That's it. You just monitor them to make sure that they're not about to do anything stupid. Well, you got to call the cops or something like that. Hospital? No, they didn't go to the hospital, right? Now, this is a unique thing I put in that I skipped over because if somebody did go out to the hospital, we always wanted to find out what hospital did they go to because that's a big thing. Sometimes the hospital comes in if you have poor record keeping and stuff like that and tracking the person on an overnight shift I forgot which one they went to. And if you have a bunch of hospitals in an area, you want to know what hospital is the EMS taking them to, and you write that down. That was in an incident report. Now we know exactly what happened, when it happened, and where they went, just in case we have to look for them, family has to look for them, or something like that. So that was important that I put it into there. And pretty much you get down to the end. Boom, you hit there. For this thing, my name is Test Howard again, and submit. So now I'm doing this to show that the email I get now is different. Even when we go to the sheet, the log sheet, it's going to be different. See, this is white. because there's no escalation that was required, is white. All right. If we go to the email, this is the correct email. We go to the email and let's wait for it. Okay, here we go. It came in. And there you go. It doesn't say anything about escalation required. It just says this was a behavioral incident. And that's it. So that's all. I just wanted to show, and the PDF is there, of course. I'll show you the PDF real quick. That's it. It's not all bolded and red and everything like that. It was just a behavioral incident. That's it. All right. So I just wanted to highlight that to show that I made this incident report for us to use. It's really easy. The staff could go to their phone now and boom, 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 boom. Nobody has to worry about, oh, go get the incident report form or this, or I need the computer. Hit your phone, go into this portal real quick, boom. Everything is so simple with the phone. I got a mirror screen on my phone. I could just scroll through this and zoom through this real quick. It is so easy with the phone. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show with the incident report form. I don't know what else anyone would really like to see. I mean, the daily census form, I could, try that one out next time. Most of these forms are, I'm freezing up. Damn, I'm freezing up for real. Yeah, I have way too much stuff running on this computer, and I'm completely out of RAM memory, so I'm gonna have to get another computer. But yeah, if there's any other thing anybody wants to see, I can't even zoom anyway. I can't. It's like sticking on me. Jeez, man, that sucks. Let me close this one. All right, I'm not getting any action out of this, so I'm going to call it a night or a day with this. I'll go over some other different forms that are created. I know you're looking at this daily menu inventory checklist. That one, I made it to track the food, so it's working. It does work. All right, so now my screen is blank. So what I'm going to do, if you like what you're seeing, if it was cool, I can scroll now. It came back to life. All right. I think what I'll do on the next one, I'll probably do the maintenance log. Overnight shift is similar to your daily cleaning. It's just, go through it, boom, 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 and then it gives a report. So, for instance, let me see what email was getting a bunch of reports. All right. So like this one gets the daily kitchen checklist, right? So the daily kitchen checklist was one of the other reports that was up there, and it does the same thing as the daily cleaning verification. It tells me who was in the kitchen, who completed the phone when they completed it, the shift they was on, and it asks a lot of questions that are required of kitchen staff to know, and especially if you're familiar with the ServSafe and ServSafe rules, when you're operating a commercial kitchen, I have each of the kitchens, all 4 of them are commercial kitchens. So this just goes down the line of those things that they have to fill out, and they do fill it out. And if there's anything off, anything like that, then I will get that notification. I'll be able to see it in here and then, tend to it. That's it. But this is more so keeping them compliant as well inside of that kitchen, because when an inspector comes in and they're inspecting your kitchen, our open food, all open food labeled with an open date. Yes. Or prepared food labeled with the discard date. Yes, any food stored beyond 7 days, any expired food. So it's going through that. Our food items stored on the floor. Then it's like, trust me, when you go through the kitchen inspection, there's a whole bunch that they go through. Sanitizer, test strips, are they available and accessible? Is the solution properly prepared and in use? The cutting board's clean, 3-compartment sink, including a wash and sanitizers, that's set up, any signs of pests, the dumpster, is that, straight? So there's a bunch of things that the kitchen has to go through. The refrigerator temperature, freezer temperature is checked and recorded daily. So that's what this form is for the kitchen. It has really nothing to do with food, and as far as how much food is there. That's what the other form is for. But this is just making sure, hey, my kitchen is compliant. All these things are being done. All these things are correct. If an inspector walks in there, I'm getting an A, because there shouldn't be any, open food containers. The temperature's always logged. The 3-compartment sink is set up. When you're dealing with like residential care facilities, assisted living, there's a lot of things that you have to know and have to be on top of. When I was dealing with trucks, and I had a lot of trucks, a big company and warehouse, there's a lot of moving parts with that. So there's a lot of things you have to know. So being able to say, look, all these checks were done, your DQ files, and the person's up to date with that, and your clearinghouse, and a bunch of stuff, and then the checks on my truck, and my lights are working, and those are all, routine things. And then when you get out there on the road, now that I think about it, trucks is actually easier, because those things are straightforward. How my tires looking, is my engine oily, anything like that. It's simple, it's easy. But guess what? Let's say you give that driver one of these checklists to do, and it's like, yo, before you get in the truck, just make sure you check this, you check that, you check this, so that we know everything is on point. And you're going to get that report mailed to you, emailed to you every day before that person takes off, before they hit the road, or at the end of their shift, right? They're going to do a last walk around. And if there's anything that comes in, it gets flagged. Hey, escalation, you need to go take care of this. You don't have to worry about you didn't tell me. I told you, or I forgot to tell you. So this could be applied to any business, just getting these forms and different things in place. And again, just creating a system, structuring a system. That way, you pretty much, you just start operating a certain way. Where now, what I'm doing with a lot of the forms and the data is more so just building out, what my KPIs are, right? Because now I have so much data coming in, and everything is actually working. So now I'm able to audit more efficiently, understand what's going on in the building by looking at these reports. And again, it's getting compliance from the staff to do that. Once they're doing these reports, it's easy. Once they're doing reports, 100% now. Now you know what's going on. Having stepped foot inside of one of the facilities, I think it's been 2 months now, right? But I know what's going on. Besides that, yes, I'm on the phone and I'm speaking with them, but I'm not working in it now. I'm working on it, and have been building these things, just building different systems to make everybody operate better. Now, as things get easier for them to do, then the systems become easier for them as well. These workflows are easier, and I'm making them better. And trust me, once I get to the point where now I'm able to use voice, then most of these forms are turned into something that they can use with the voice now. So they could talk to it, and they could talk all these answers, and it goes that much quicker, and then once it gets to that, there's no reason why you didn't do it, because now you don't have to do anything but talk. But I might not do that, because I don't know if the system will be able to interpret some folks' languages. But anyway, if you like what you see, definitely just please comment, let me know. If it's something that you think I could do better, let me know. If there's a better system out there I could use, let me know. Something that's going to save me time, something I should check out and look at, let me know. I would definitely do it. On that same note, in reverse, if you've seen something that you like, you want me to show you it more, help you build it or something like that, hit me up. I always like helping people, working with them. Always like a good challenge. All right. Anyway, later.